Dear students, today we can discuss about the topic income from salary. As per Income Tax Act 1961, there are 5 heads of income. Income from salary, income from house property, income from profits and gains of profession or business, income from capital gain, and income from other sources. The first head of income under Income Tax Act is income from salary. So, what is salary income under Income Tax Act? It refers to any remuneration or compensation received by an employee from a current or former employer for the execution of services in connection with employment. Okay, once again, income from salary means it is any income or remuneration received by an individual for services he is rendering or a contract undertaken by him. This amount of remuneration will be considered as salary income for the purpose of Income Tax Act only if there is an employer-employee relationship between the person who is making the payment and the person who is receiving the payment. Okay, we can understand more about what is this employer and employee relationship. Any payment that is received by a person will be treated as salary income under Income Tax Act if there exists an employer and employee relationship between payer and payee. For the purpose of qualifying income as income from salary, their relationship should be that of a master and a servant. Where a master is a person who directs his employee that what is to be done and how it is to be done. And servant is the person who is liable to conduct that work in the manner told by his employer. For a payment to fall under the head salary, the relationship of employer and employee must exist. Employer may be a government, local authority, company, any other public body, association, HUF, or even an individual. Every kind of payment to every kind of servant, public or private, however high or low, that is covered under the provision of this act. Okay, another point which you have to remember is salary is taxable on due basis, whether received or not. Salary becomes due after doing work, and in India it is due on monthly basis. Every employee gets salary on completion of a month. As per our financial year, year starts on 1st April and ends on 31st March. As such, first salary for the month of April becomes due on first day of next month. But in some cases, salary becomes due on the last day of the month, and salary for the month of April shall be due on 30th April. So remember, salary is taxable on due basis, whether received or not. Okay, now we can discuss about what all incomes are chargeable under the head salary. As per section 15, any salary due from an employer or former employer to an assessee in the previous year, whether paid or not. Second one is advance salary. In case an assessee receives some salary in advance in a previous year, which was actually not due in that year, it shall be taxable in the year of receipt. So, second one is advance salary. Third one is arrears of salary. Any amount of salary received from present or past employer during relevant previous year and which relate to some earlier previous years is treated as arrears of salary. So, as per section 15, incomes which are chargeable under income from salary are normal salary, advance salary, arrears of salary. Now we can discuss about what is the definition of salary as per section 17 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act. Salary includes wages, annuity or pension, gratuity, fees, commission, perquisite or profit in lieu of salary, advance of salary, amount transferred from unrecognized provident fund to recognized provident fund in excess of prescribed limit, leave encashment, contribution made by central government to the account of an employee under a notified pension scheme. Okay, so what is annuity? Annuity means it's a fixed sum of money paid to someone each year, typically for the rest of their life. Pension means at the time of retirement of an employee, the employer pays the employee a certain amount regularly in consideration of his past service. This periodic payment is paid by employer to his employee is known as pension. Okay, then what is gratuity? Gratuity is a sum of money paid by an employer to employee for services rendered in the company. It's a lump sum that a company pays when an employee leaves an organization and is one of the many retirement benefit offered by company to employee. In India, gratuity rules and requirements are set out under the Payment of Gratuity Act 1972. Okay, then what is profit in lieu of salary? Profit in lieu of salary means, okay, what is the word meaning of in lieu? In lieu means in the place of. Okay, so profit in lieu of salary are payment received by an employee in addition to the regular salary. It can include both monetary and other forms of compensation. It is a payment made by employer to his employee instead of salary. It is a terminal benefit. Some examples are a payment from unrecognized provident fund or superannuation fund, or the compensation which is given by employer for loss of employment or modification of terms of employment from employer or former employer. All these are the examples for profit in lieu of salary. So, section 17 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act defines salary. Salary includes wages, annuity or pension, gratuity, fees, commission, perquisites or profit in lieu of salary. Okay, what is perquisites? Perquisites means these are benefits received by a person as a result of his or her official position and are over and above the salary or wages. These are fringe benefits which can be taxable or non-taxable depending upon their nature. Some examples for taxable perquisites are rent-free accommodation, reimbursement of medical expense, then a supply of gas, water and electricity. Okay, then examples for exempted perquisites are a computer or laptop provided by company for official use, then refreshment provided by employer during office hour, a provision of medical aid, then interest-free salary loan provided by employer to employees. All these are exempted perquisites. So perquisites are benefits received by employee as a result of his or her official position. Okay, so salary includes then again advance of salary, amount transferred from unrecognized provident fund to recognized provident fund in excess of prescribed limit, leave encashment, contribution made by central government to account of an employee under a notified pension scheme. Now let us discuss how to compute income from salary. There is a format for the computation of income from salary. First of all, we have to write basic salary. Then we can add fees, commission, bonus if any. Then we can add allowances if any. Okay, what is an allowance? Allowances are any monetary benefit offered by the employer to its employees for meeting expenditures over and above the basic salary. That is known as salary allowances. Some of the examples of allowances are dearness allowance, project allowance, medical allowance, house rent allowance, some special allowances like festival allowance, transport allowance, etc. Then we have to add perquisites, if any. What are perquisites? Perquisite is a non cash benefit or a fringe benefit granted by an employer to the employee. Under the Income Tax Act, a perquisite is defined as a benefit which an employee avails of or is entitled to on account of the employee's job or position in the enterprise. Perquisites are both taxable and exempt. Perquisites can simply as company car, fuel reimbursement, or may also include interest-free loan, medical facilities, accommodation sponsored by company, etc. Then we have to add retirement benefits, if any. Then we will be getting gross salary. From gross salary, we have to deduct under section 16. First deduction is standard deduction. Maximum limit is rupees 50,000. Second deduction is entertainment allowance, that is allowable. That deduction can be claimed only by government employees. The amount of deduction allowed up to least of the following. First one, actual amount received. Then second one is 1/5 of salary. Third one is 5,000 rupees 5,000. Least of the following is the maximum amount of deduction. So entertainment allowance can be claimed as deduction only for government employees. Third deduction is professional tax or tax on employment. After deducting these deductions, we will be getting net income from salary. Hope you understood what is income from salary, what is the meaning of salary, what is the definition of salary, how we have to compute income from salary. Thank you.